Hi, this is David again, and I want to do another video here on Mitt Romney and the shenanigans between him and the Mormon Church. You know, there's some times that I find this stuff humorous, as you know, if you watch any of my videos. I find things that are humorous. You know, when the Mormon people stab the rest of the world in the back with a knife and twist it, I don't find that as humorous as some of the things I've laughed about. There's been a couple of calculations, and I find this interesting. Maybe you don't. I do. When you take all the money that Mitt Romney makes, it adds up to him making over $10,000 an hour. Now, if you're a regular person, you might make $12, $15, $25, $30 an hour, and that's a fairly reasonable income to live on. Especially if you have a man and a woman, a husband and wife. Mitt Romney is worth $10,000 an hour. Well, I don't think he is, folks. Maybe you do. I don't think anyone is worth $10,000 an hour. If Jesus appeared with you Christians and asked for $10,000 an hour to see him, I don't think he's worth that either. Now, let's go to another statistic. The church has just quit publishing this statistic. I wonder why. When you add up all the millions and millions of dollars that the Mormon Church says, we don't have any proof, but it says it gave to humanitarian aid over the last 25 years, it comes out to $6.37 per year, not per month, per year that each member gave in humanitarian aid. Most of the Mormons go, hey, I just pay my tithing and they give it to the poor people, so I'm out of the box. I don't have to worry about giving to the poor. Well, the Mormons don't. They don't at the local level because they're too stupid to chase the statistic down. And when someone like me and other people that publish and say, hey, you know, you only paid $6.37 last year to the world poor. Oh, no, we paid it to the Mormon Church in the millions. Yeah. Well, now the Mormon Church has quit publishing that number. I wonder why. Well, you think it might be that people go, well, gee, Romney gives millions and millions and millions, and others do too, and they only gave $6 to the hungry and the humanitarian fund? Where did the rest of the billions go? Well, that's the question all of us want to know. And the news media will eventually jump on it and say, what? Now, the other thing that, you know, I told you my little wife is still LDS. And I asked her last night, I said, you know, honey, why did Mitt Romney have a Swiss bank account? Well, I don't know. Well, a Swiss bank account, again, I'm not an expert in these financial things, but God, I have enough information not to be stupid. A Swiss bank account, there's no name on it. There's no name, it's just a number. And historically, the Swiss banks were not allowed to give out any information to anybody under any circumstances anywhere in the world. Lately, that has changed over the last 25 or 30 years, that under certain circumstances, they have to give out information to courts or drug money or whatever. Well, what the hell is Mitt Romney doing with a Swiss bank account? It had $3 million in it. Anybody watching this video could live on that money for the rest of their life and have another 10 or 12 families join in with them and have nice houses, nice cars, all the food you want, all the clothes you want. $3 million stuffed away in a Swiss bank account. Well, historically, the reason that people have Swiss bank accounts is that in case shit happens and they lose money or they want to hide cash, they put it in a Swiss bank. Well, Romney had about $1,800 interest on that account, and he forgot to put it on his taxes. I've seen the latest statistic now. He didn't pay 10% in 2010 for tithing. He paid 8%. Well, doesn't sound like a big deal, 8% to 10%. That doesn't seem like a big deal, does it? Maybe David's just making a a big thing out of nothing. Let's see, $1 million. God, the calculator fell down. It's a white man's calculator, working class white man calculator. $1 million it won't even take. I guess Mitt Romney's will take, 40 million, 220 million. Mine won't do that. Do you know how much money Mitt Romney cheated the Mormon church out of? 2% of $1 million would be, is it 20,000? I think it is. He cheated them out of $20,000 in 2010. How much did he cheat him out of in 9, 8, 7, 6? Why doesn't he want to release his taxes? I don't know. Do you? This organization called Mormonism is one of the most broken systems I have ever seen in my life. Now I'm going to give you some speculation. I usually don't do that. What I tell you is either factual or things I've seen or heard, and to my best of my knowledge is factual. Here's what I can't figure out. When Joseph Smith was the prophet, he had several, 8, 10, 15 apostate general authorities that said he was screwing little girls, he was stealing people's money, he was marrying married women, committing adultery. And some of those people were killed by the Danites, and some of them, all of them were excommunicated from the church. Well, since Brigham Young, now we have Brigham Young's, 23rd wife, he or she divorced him, I guess, and has some ugly things to say about him. But that's the last I've ever heard of in the Mormon church of their higher echelon telling the stories, the real stories of the Mormon church. Now, how can you go, 150 years lying, cheating, and conniving and not have somebody that has morality break out and go, whoa, we can't go in the Cayman Islands and stuff our money like Romney. That's not right. $6 for humanitarian aid. Shit, that ain't right. 6-figure incomes for all of us and all the perks. That ain't right. Why don't we have one authority that breaks with the herd and say, you guys were right, we were screwing everybody? Well, my degrees in psychology would lead me to believe a couple of things. One is that any money that you get as a general authority, whether it's a stipend, whether it's a life insurance policy or free tuition for your kid at BYU, if you're ever excommunicated, you owe that money all back to the Mormon church. That would be some motivation for those that have a morality. They say, well, I ain't going to tell the truth. I don't want to owe back $9 million. Well, they're all old, and they're going to die anyway, so that's not a real strong motivation for them not to tell the truth. Here's what I think. It's only speculation. It's only my opinion of what I know about the Mormon church and its people and the psychology that I studied about human beings. Most men, if you put them up in front of a shotgun and you say, do you want me to shoot you or your family? The man will say, well, shoot me. I don't want my kids to be killed. Here's my speculation. I think the Mormon church still has Danites. I think they still have an assassination squad. And I think the general authorities know that. And I think the general authorities know that they have taken an oath and a covenant with God, but the Mormon church, that if they ever reveal the information in the temple, when I went to the temple, they said they'd cut my throat or cut my guts out as a punishment for revealing any of the church's secrets. I think that the general authorities who are making the big bucks and are trapped in, I'm sure some of them have some morality. Why don't they come forward? I think that the church has shown them and proved to them that they will not be killed. It's too obvious. They'll wait. And then they'll kill their children or their grandchildren. They'll have terrible, terrible accidents. Would that keep me from telling the truth? Yeah. Well, now that I think about it, some of my children, You can shoot them, that's okay. But the others that I love, no, I don't want them killed. So anyway, my psychology and my background and experience is why one of these people doesn't break and come out with the truth and the morality and the dishonesty of the Mormon Church is I think that they have been intimidated by the cult to say, if you do these things and you're one of the general authorities, you're taking upon yourself the obligation that we can wipe out you and your family and your genealogical tree because you're all going to be the sons and daughters of perdition. Well, I thought about this for a long time and keep thinking to myself, why did Joseph Smith have so many of those guys apostatize and tell the truth? And Brigham Young, oh God, he had Thomas B. Marsh, and there was a couple of them back then. But the shenanigans were not as deep as they are today. With the church now not even telling you how much goes to the humanitarian fund, because it's humiliating. $6 per year per member? And the Mormons think when they give $3,000, every 2 or 3 months for tithing, that they're giving it to the poor over in Haiti. They give 27 cents to Haiti. So I think that the glue that holds this why can't I think of that word? This conspiracy together is the threat of torture and or death. And I think if anyone breaks, they're going to have to pay back. And I think they are risking the life, limb, and the education and the freedom of their family members who are basically not innocent because the money this person's getting to be quiet is going off to their family too. So it's kind of an entangled web we weave when at first we learn and deceive. So again, speculation, no proof, none. But my education and my psychology training, to have that many people stay that quiet for so long and for not breaking out with any kind of morality standards usually is the threat of death or torture. That's the main motivation to most human beings. So take that as you want it, but remember Swiss bank accounts are to avoid taxes and to secretly hold money. Mitt forgot to tell you he had a Swiss bank account. Then he forgot to tell you he had $3 million in it. And he forgot to tell you he was parked over in the Cayman Islands to avoid certain taxation and lower legal but unethical, unmoral and unethical, that this guy gets $10,000 an hour and he doesn't even have a job.